Since I started this YouTube channel, I've had quite a few comments and questions from you guys. Today, I've asked Mike to collate a few of those and I'll do my best to try and answer them. Okay, Mike, first question.
Lucy Brown, how did you start working at DriveTribe?
Well, about 4.5 years ago, I was studying for my A-levels, and on the side of the weekends and the evenings, I was trying to market my brother and my dad's businesses. My brother's business, more specifically, is a mini business. He has a mini workshop. And I thought I could try and use this new platform I'd heard of called DriveTribe to try and market it. So I created a tribe, I did posts and blog content about minis and about the workshop. And I used that pretty much every day to check up on my brother's business. And then one day I saw an article which was asking if anyone wanted an internship at DriveTribe. I thought that could be really fun and I thought it'd look really cool on my university application. So I went for it. I thought working at Clarkson, Hammond and May's company, that'd be pretty cool. I applied, I got an interview, went up to London for it, and it went really well, I think, and I got the job. And I was an intern from, I think, Easter of 2017.
So I started working 2 weeks before you, and I literally remember seeing your CV sitting at the top of a pile of CVs on the desk next to me. I remember seeing Lucy Brown and them saying, oh, there's a girl coming in for this internship. So I think I started about 2 or 3 weeks before you, and then we've just... So were you planning on going to uni?
Yeah, completely, 100% going to go to uni. This was just to put on my application. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do over the summer. I knew I wanted to get a job for the summer. I thought an internship is just as good as a job. And I thought it'd look good on my application, so went for it.
So how did you end up not going to uni then? Did you just decide DriveTribe's it?
Well, I started working during my A-levels and then throughout my exams.
Of course, you're only 17 at this point, right?
17, 18.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, I started working there during my internship.
Yep.
And then by, I think, halfway through or towards the end of my internship, they said, hey, you could work here full time if you want, you can have a job. And I thought, that's awesome. Big decision to make. I'm going to uni in a few weeks. Do I do that or do I stay at DriveTribe? I decided that I could defer my university year. So you can actually defer your place for a year.
Yep.
So I did that and I stayed at DriveTribe for another year. But about 6 months after that decision, I quietly just cancelled my place at university because everything was moving so quickly at DriveTribe. I was really enjoying everything and I wanted to stay, so I did.
Bob Uncle's question, what was your educational background? What prepared you for this job?
I guess we've covered that a little bit already. So I haven't been to university. I just finished my A-levels and then went straight to DriveTribe. In terms of experience, I mainly do marketing at DriveTribe. I'm the marketing director. And I have done marketing and social media, I guess, for quite a long time. My dad's business has got a little bit of an online presence. My brother's one has got quite a bit more now. So ever since I was doing, I guess, GCSEs, age 13, 14, I was trying to market those businesses, whether that was through websites or whether that was through social media. I was sort of always pushing to grow those brands, and I was actually quite successful at it, I guess, considering the scale I was on. So I knew all about social media and all about different online marketing things you could do by the time I went for the internship at DriveTribe. And then I just learned so much while I've been here at DriveTribe.
And then how did your experience start from that to becoming a video maker?
Well, a couple years ago, I was handed the production team and I was told that I'd be managing them. And I thought this was great because I was expanding my management skills, but also didn't know that much about production. So I went and learned as much as I could so I could at least make informed decisions with this production team. And as I learned more and more about it, I really enjoyed it. I've always loved making videos. Even when I was 12 or 13, I reckon, I was making little travel vlogs of places I was going. I've always loved video, but I've never thought I had sort of a confidence to work in it properly, I guess. I always thought you had to go to film school and know everything.
Yep.
So I was really lucky that I got this opportunity to run this production team, and then the production team taught me a load of stuff, and then eventually opportunities opened up for me to actually go out and film on shoots or direct shoots, and I loved it, so I try and do as much of that as I can.
Hyde Lander, If you're the DriveTribe marketing director, how come you seem to spend most of your time filming? Good question.
Yep, I am the marketing director here at DriveTribe, but I do seem to spend quite a lot of time on film shoots, and that's because I run the production team. And video is a huge part of our marketing strategy here, so it's really important. And I don't actually spend that much time on camera, behind a camera, or on shoots really. All of that is mainly handled by Mike, our head of production. But it looks like I am because it looks visually, it's more interesting me being on a shoot. So I tend to vlog more about that than the marketing side of things. But I reckon in terms of how I spend my time at DriveTribe, I'm probably on a shoot or working on production stuff maybe one day, maximum 2 days a week. So I am mainly the marketing director, but I help out where I can on the side of production because it is for marketing.
Mystic Hair. Who do you like to work with most out of James, Jeremy and Richard?
Tough one. I enjoy working with all three of them. They are so professional. I think you forget how much of a big deal they are when you're with them. They make you really comfortable when you're with them. So you think they're just normal guys, but then they start talking in front of a camera and you realise how experienced and how amazing they are at their jobs. I enjoy working with all three of them. I've worked the most with James May, so I'm probably the most comfortable with him. And then Richard, also pretty comfortable with him, just in awe on how he can just deliver in camera. And Jeremy, obviously, he's Jeremy Clarkson, so even when he's so nice and welcoming to you, you're always a bit like, wow, this is Jeremy Clarkson.
He's a big dude, isn't he?
He's a big guy in every sense of it. He's really tall, his voice is immense, so he's such a huge presence. So it's always a little bit stressful filming with him, even when he's the nicest guy ever to you. But yeah, I love all three of them.
Then along those lines, KJ16, were you in awe of the three guys at first, and how long did it take for you to get to know them enough to be relaxed with them?
I was totally in awe when I met them. I still am to an extent. I remember the first time I met Jeremy Clarkson, I was still an intern, and he came into our office and he wanted to hear about our social media strategy because he knew nothing about it. And so I was asked if I could do all the research and sort of make a presentation, I guess, of what our social media strategy was and what we do. And I did all of that work, and then I handed it over to someone to present to Jeremy. And then I think about 10 minutes before Jeremy walked in, I was told, actually, no, you need to tell Jeremy all this stuff. So the first time I ever met him, we were sat in a small room, the whole social team was crowded around, and I had to explain to him what social media was. And that was quite stressful, even though he was lovely about it. But yeah, definitely in awe of all three of them still. I'm most relaxed with James, as I mentioned before, just because we spend a lot more time together than anyone else. I think I'm probably the most similar with him as well, so I guess that helps. But yeah, pretty awesome guys, and it's quite, every time we're on a shoot with them, we sort of pinch ourselves like we're filming Clarkson, Hammond and May right now. Crazy.
Charles Fulcrum, what is the most memorable place you've been abroad? And where would you most like to go, either on holiday or a working assignment?
One of my favourite places to go in the world are the Bahamas. I went there last month and it was absolutely stunning, as always. Every time I go there, I can just switch off completely, which I find quite hard to do. The scenery is just lovely there. The people are always so welcoming, and it's just such a nice place to go on holiday. So I'd say for holidays, definitely the Bahamas. In terms of film shoots we've done in the past, really enjoyed filming in New York. Been there a couple of times, that was really great. Also Monaco was quite cool. In terms of where I want to go, I'd really love to go to Vancouver and San Francisco. I feel like they'd be really cool places to visit. And then also there's the classic bucket list things of going to Thailand and Vietnam and things like that, but I'm sure I'll get there one day.
Corey Wickens, do you have an ultimate goal, like making your own business or moving into another field of work that relates to what you're doing now? Interesting
question. I'm very happy doing what I'm doing now, and I'm constantly learning, which is really important for me. I want to learn as much as I can. I reckon in the future, I think it would be quite nice to have my own business, whether that's a marketing agency or a production agency. I think that'd be pretty cool to have my own business that I'm in charge of and that I can run. I think that'd be quite cool. I do think I'm enjoying the production side of things quite a lot, so I might try and move into that a bit more heavily. Maybe I'll have an agency that does production and marketing all in one.
Maybe. Along those lines, 0730 Media, from concept to final video, On average, how long does it take to get a DriveTribe piece out, and what's the process involved?
I guess it really depends. Some shoots are much bigger than others and some are more complex, but I think the best person to answer that is our head of production, Mike Fernie. So back to you.
Yeah, I'd say from shoot day to final edit, as in publish, I'd say normally about 3 weeks. So we shoot the film, and then I'd say we'd have a week to get to what we call a V1, which is the version 1 of the edit. So something that's fairly complete, but we can hand over to give feedback if there's a client involved, and they can give feedback on it. Then we'll spend probably another week on top of that, fine-tuning it, and then another week, whether it's scheduled, sorting out thumbnails, getting it uploaded to YouTube, all that sort of stuff. So I'd say roughly about 3 weeks from the shoot day. But then of course, well before that, there's been a whole load of production planning, getting locations, risk assessments, all that sort of stuff. So in total, you could say a shoot really takes up maybe even like 2 months, 6 or 7 weeks. But actually from shoot day to it going on YouTube, yeah, I'd say roughly 3 weeks on average. Logan Mason, what was your favorite video to work on?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's been so many. I guess I'd say shoot rather than video would make sense. So shoot wise, we went to the Formula E in New York City.
That was good.
And that was so much fun. It was such an awesome shoot. It was probably my first proper shoot that I did for DriveTribe as the camera operator. And I learned a lot, which resulted in the videos not looking that great at the end of it.
We're in New York for the grand finale of Season 5 to show you the best bits of a race weekend. Welcome to DriveTribe's Beginner's Guide to Formula E.
We welcome you to the New York City E3.
Psyched for the race to start.
So that was one of my favorite shoots just because being in New York and learning so much was great, but the videos didn't turn out that well. With regards to videos that turned out really well and that were really fun to make, I'd say James May's Mirai videos, the reveal and the first drive that we did quite recently.
Yep.
They were really fun and they were filmed around where I live, so I was on home turf, if you will, so that was quite fun.
That was a good one. Okay, on to quick fire questions. James Garcia, any editing software you'd recommend for someone just starting?
iMovie is great, it's free and it comes with Macs and you can use it on your phone. Adobe Premiere Rush as well, you can use that on your phone and it is free. They're both quite simple to use. If you're going to move forward a little bit more, maybe something like DaVinci Resolve or what I use, which is Premiere Pro.
D27, how have you managed to conquer being nervous in front of camera?
Easy, I haven't. I'm still nervous all the time and I think I'm getting slightly better at hiding that, but I'm still pretty nervous.
Tyler Zessiger, have you ever competed in motorsport?
No.
Philip DeMacaulay, what was your favourite subject in school?
It was history.
Harry Collins, which do you prefer to do vlogs? Which do you prefer to do vlogs or DriveTribe or FoodTribe videos?
I like all three. I'd say they're all very different. I'd say my favourite are filming DriveTribe videos, usually because they're a bit more complex. We usually have more people and a lot more moving parts. So I think that's quite nice and a bit more challenging. FoodTribe ones are usually way more chilled out and a little bit sort of fun, I guess. They're not as organised and they're quite laid back. And then the vlogs, they're usually less fun because either I'm on my own filming something at my house or something that I'm doing which I think is kind of interesting, or I'm in the middle of a chaotic shoot and I'm trying to focus on filming the video for DriveTribe or FoodTribe while filming a second video of myself, and sometimes that can be a little bit challenging because I don't want to neglect the main shoot, and also I have a whole crew of people staring at me like I'm really weird holding up a camera when I'm trying to film myself.
Henry Brook, what would be your dream car if money was no object?
Some people might hate this, but I quite fancy the idea of having a baby blue 1970s Porsche Targa electrified.
Nice. And if it was modern?
Modern, I'm not sure. I still quite want a Tesla Model 3. I know quite a few people hate me for that, but I'd quite like one.
Final question, Rakin Fahad, are you related to James May?
No, I am not.
Well done, Lucy May.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this slightly odd Q&A. I know a lot of you have been asking for it for quite a while in the comments, so I thought I'd finally oblige. Let me know in the comments down below any more questions you have and if you'd like to see another video like this, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.